Hey, and welcome back to the channel. Whether you are new, you've been here for a hot second, hey, welcome back. Or welcome, I should say, if this is your first time watching. And if this is your first time watching and you are new here, we do upload 4 times a week here on the channel, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. Tuesday nights, if you're watching tonight, we are live every single Tuesday night. And if you're not watching live and you're watching the recording, that's okay as well. So make sure to hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell. That way you don't miss any of our videos here on the channel. I would love to have you join our little community that has been growing month after month. Yeah. And if you like anything you hear, make sure to give the video a thumbs up. So let's go ahead and jump right in. So tonight we are going to be talking about weight loss, and we are going to be talking about the cost. So what is normal? What is not normal? So often people will say, I get lots of questions when people see my before and afters, and they will say, hey, like, how much did it cost you? Or did you pay? Or was it free? Or when I'm looking to coach somebody, or somebody's inquiring on working with me or working with somebody else or jumping into a coaching program or our coaching program or any program. I will get a lot of questions on how much does it cost? Should it cost something? Should it not? So I'm going to go ahead and give you my best success advice on this topic when it comes to weight loss. And really, as somebody who wants to lose weight, as somebody who wants to get healthy, as somebody who wants to change their lives, what's realistic, right? Like, what's realistic? What's not? What should you pay? What, if anything, or what should you not pay? And I have a very strong opinion on this, and it started way before weight loss. And let me just tell you, even though I have a strong opinion on it, I have succeeded wildly in weight loss, and I have failed miserably. I have spent no money, and I have spent lots of money. And so again, I have done a pretty in-depth test market study for you on this. And so the only reason I'm able to talk about this is because I've done both. I've been on both extremes where I thought you could just throw money at a problem and it was going to solve itself, or I wasn't going to spend nothing and I was just going to freebie seek all the free information on the web, and that's what was going to help me. So, yeah. And you might be surprised at what my success advice would be on this. But here's what I can tell you. This is the advice that I'm going to give you is the advice that I use in every single area of my life. It is the same advice that I used to go take my marriage from failing after 1 year of marriage, knocking on divorce's doorstep, to having a marriage today where the man I'm married to, I love him more than I ever even could have imagined. The advice that I take on raising kids to be honorable, kids that someday I would want to look at and be friends with them, even if they weren't my kids. Like you meet somebody and you're like, I would totally want to be friends with you. Like, I want to raise those kind of kids that when they get to be adults, if they weren't my kids, I would want to be friends with them. They're good human beings. The advice that I use with my finances, the advice that we've used to grow businesses from failing to multiple 6 figures, some even 7 figures. And so, and this advice that I also use to go from failing in weight loss to succeeding. Okay. And so there are always 2 different kinds of investments. Okay. There's a financial investment and there's a time investment. So those are the kind of investments. And then there's the no investment. And unfortunately, we live in, I won't say unfortunately, I will just say it's not unfortunately, it just is what it is. We live in a time today where if you were actually to rewind 20 or 30 years ago, it was pretty common that people, if you wanted to learn how to do something, no one really expected to learn for free. It was like you went and found an expert and you paid them to learn what they know. And the way you define an expert is you find somebody who is, I don't care what letters they have after their name. I don't care what degrees they have. To me, that doesn't make somebody an expert because they went and read a book. To me, you are an expert on something when you are living proof that something works and you are doing it. Like, I would rather learn from somebody who has a degree of hard knocks and success versus someone who just has a degree and read a book. All right. And so, we used to live in a time where people stayed educated. They got educated and stayed educated. And if they wanted to know something, they didn't go on. We didn't have the internet, so no one went to YouTube or online or anything like that. And listen, there's a ton of free information you can get, just like this video you're watching right now and all the videos here on the channel. There's a ton of free, good information that you can get. All right. However, we're going to talk about that. Hold on. I'm getting ahead of myself. So we used to live in this world where everybody knew that you had to make an investment to succeed. Where today, we live in this world where, unfortunately, people don't want to pay for anything. And there's a big sect of the society that just believes that, they should be able to get all the education for free. Unless it's a college, then they think you should be able to pay tens of thousands of dollars for the college with no guarantees. So let's talk about the two different investments. So here's what I personally believe. I believe if you want to succeed, it's going to take commitment. You're never going to succeed without commitment. And that which you're not willing to invest into, you're not committed to. When you have and this is just basic human psychology, okay? So in a perfect world, if I gave you a course for free, I had this weight loss course and I said, come on in, I'm going to give you this course for free. And I let 20 people have the course for free. And then I said, okay, here's my course. It's $500. If you want the course to succeed in weight loss, it's $500. It's going to be A to Z, how to succeed. And I let 20 people have it for $500. Those 20 people who got paid $500 for the course are going to have a much higher success rate than those who got that same exact course for free. Now, all the information's the same. What's the difference? The difference is that which is free, we don't value. That which is free, we don't commit the same way to. That which is free, we just don't put the same effort into it. But when we have skin in the game, whether we've made an investment of time or an investment of money, when you have made that personal investment, that sacrifice, we treat it with a different respect. We now have skin in the game, which ups our commitment level. And anytime you're upping your commitment level, you're going to up the rate at which you succeed. All right. Now, for some of you, and I've been through both of these, for some of you right now, you're doing well financially. And so for you to pay $500 or $100 or $200 or whatever it is no big deal. And I've been in that place where I absolutely just threw money at a whole bunch of products and I had no problem making an investment of money. Okay. So some of you are there right now. Now, some of you are on the other side of that and you're like, oh my gosh, to come up with an extra $500 would be like it would be a struggle and a stretch to do that. But all those times that I was willing to make I could easily make the money investment, the part I didn't make was the time investment. So I put the money, I bought the DVD, I bought the shake, I bought the subscription for meal planning, I bought the gym membership, I threw my money at the problem, I made my commitment with money, but I didn't commit my time. Because you've got to put the time into learning the information. You've got to put the time into working out. You've got to put the time into meal planning. You've got to put the time into putting the right things in here so the right things come out of there, out of your mouth. And so in my personal experience of success and weight loss, you have got to be willing to make an investment of not only time, but of money. And we're going to talk a little bit more about these, but when you can match and you can say, okay, I'm going to invest the money that it takes to learn. I'm going to invest the money that it takes for my supplies. I'm going to invest the money. I'm going to put skin in the game. I'm going to bet on myself. I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. I'm going to actually let my walk match my talk. instead of my talk out talking my walk. Have you ever done that? You ever met somebody? I know you've probably never done this. I have a bunch where I talked a big game and then my walk was like, burr, 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 burr. It just ran away. As soon as the going, you know the saying, when the tough gets going, the going gets tough. Or no, when the going gets tough, the tough gets going. I just slaughtered that right on camera. Awesome. When the tough gets going, the going gets tough. When the going gets tough, the tough get going. That saying, well, for a lot of people and me, when the tough got going, when the going got tough, I got lost. Like, sayonara, see you later. I'm the frick out of here. Boop, gone. Off to find something that's easier. So you've got to be willing to, when you put skin in the game of money, that's going to keep you here even when it gets tough. When you have commitment is the glue that keeps you here when you want to quit. Commitment is the glue that causes you to stick it out when you want to give up and you want to give in and you want to quit again. And so you've got to find ways to get up your commitment level as high as it can be. Because again, the higher your commitment level is, the higher your rate of success is. Okay? So you've got to be willing to make an investment of money. Secondly, let's talk about investment of time for a second. You've got to be willing to also make an investment of time. And when you can make both the investment of time and the investment of money, guess what that's doing to your commitment level? It is raising your game. Again, now you have not only money in, but time. And I'm guessing right now, one of those is harder for you than the other. One of those is going to be like, oh man, I got the money, I don't got the time. And some of you are going to be like, I got the time, I don't got the money. And there's a few of you that truly don't have the money and truly don't have the time. If you're a single mother with kids and all this crazy stuff going on, say, in our economy and, the world and everything, there are some of you that don't have the time or the money. Here's the thing. The more you have to overcome to go all in, the higher your success rate is. The more you have to overcome to commit, I'm going to come up with $100 and an hour a day. And if you don't have the time or the money, again, what did that do when you went all in, even though it was harder? Even though you had to overcome more, it upped your commitment level. And when you up your commitment level, you up your rate of success. And so, people all the time are like, well, Carmen, I've heard things like, well, how much does it cost to get started with you? Does it cost to get into the coaching program? And my answer is yes, abso-frickin-lutely. Why? Could I offer my coaching for free? Sure, I could. But I'm so sorry. I am not looking for somebody. I'm not looking to work with somebody who's not willing to be committed. I'm not looking to work with somebody who they want me to bet on them, but they won't bet on themselves. Think about that. If you had an area of expertise, think about an area in life where you're like, I know what I'm talking about. Don't mess with me on this. Think of an area you have a stack, whether it's parenting, whether it's you know how to do your job really well, whether it's cooking, gardening, training animals, dogs, whatever it is. Maybe you're a rock star wife. Maybe you're like mom of the year, whatever it is. Think about an area that you're like, yeah, I slay here. Maybe you're extremely good at being organized or planning or keeping a neat house or, whatever it is, right? Maybe you're really good with directions or you're really good outdoors or hiking or, whatever it is. Think of an area where you're just like, don't mess with me, fool. I got this covered. Now think about you trying to teach somebody how to be excellent in that area. And you were making the commitment, but they weren't. You were going to make the commitment to show up, but you were making the commitment to go all in, but they weren't. Have you ever worked with somebody where you're committed and they're not? Isn't that frustrating? And when I work with my clients, I'm here. I am here. And I care so much about your success that, listen, I know that for most people, when they first get started, I'm going to believe in them more than they're going to believe in themselves. I know that it's my belief in them that'll get them through. It's my ability not to quit that's going to get them through those days and those moments that they want to quit. I know that I'm going to be here, even if they stick their head up their rear end for a week or two or a month or two, I'm still going to be here when they pull their head back out and are ready to go again. Or when they have a trauma inside of their life where they just have to unplug for a little bit of time, whatever that looks like. But your time has a value. My time has a value. But let's not even talk about that. My heart is to help people succeed. That's my heart. That's why I do what I do. My chosen profession, I choose to do what I do every single day, taking time away from my family, away from my kids, because I have a heart to see people beat this thing called obesity, beat this thing called morbidly obesity, to get rid of this weight, this heavy burden called weight. And there's not much that gets me more excited than seeing people cross over from struggling and striving to succeeding. But I've done this enough to know that it doesn't matter how confident I am. It doesn't matter how much I'm willing to believe in you. It doesn't matter how much I'm willing to bet on you if you're not willing to bet on yourself. Where you're not willing to invest, when you're not willing to invest, it shows a lack of commitment. A lack of commitment. And where there's a lack of commitment, there's a lack of success. There's a lack of results. There's a lack of reaching the goal. All the times where I didn't have, listen, isn't it easy to quit? Like most of us have a habit of quitting on ourselves. We quit on ourselves first. We will quit on ourselves long before we will quit on others. Most of us have a habit of quitting. You will never overcome that habit without commitment. And that which you're not committed to, you're not willing to invest into. I know I keep repeating some of these same phrases, but listen to me. I'm repeating them because you've got to drill this into your head. If you are out there right now trying to lose weight, but you don't want to spend money, okay, well, how bad do you freaking want to succeed? And why don't you want to spend the money? Why don't you want to spend a dime? Why don't you want to invest anything into you? Or how can you expect anyone else to invest into you when you're not willing to? That was the one that hit me. I was like, that whole line was the one that hit me right between the eyes. It was like, wait. So you're expecting other people to invest into something that you don't even think is investable. It's like me taking this investment it's like me showing my friends and family this investment. I'm like, hey man, it's a really great investment, the best investment ever. I don't believe in it to invest in it, but you should totally put your money into it. When I actually heard that said in that context, I was like, dang. It like was like a bullseye right here. Like it just like, I was like, yeah, no, totally. How can I expect somebody else to invest into something that I'm not even willing to invest into? And so, if you're not even willing to invest your money into yourself, how easily are you going to quit when the going gets tough or when the tough gets going? When the going gets tough. You won't be the tough that gets going. You will be gone. Sayonara. I'm out of here. And you'll be on to something else. You have got to become good at betting on yourself. You've got to know that there's nothing wrong with making an investment into you. As long as, now this is the part you got to be careful of. You've got to make sure whatever you're investing into has a track record of results, that you're actually learning from somebody that's done it. Like, it's so hilarious right now. We live in a world of coaches, in a world of business mentors, mom mentors, all this kind of stuff. And most people that are mentoring in business have never even netted a six-figure income, which means they've never brought home more than $100,000. But yet they're advising other people on how to do that. most people that are giving marriage advice don't have a thriving, I won't say most, some people that are giving marriage advice don't have a thriving marriage. So you got to make sure if you're going to put skin in the game and you're going to pay somebody or something or a company for products or services, that they actually have the results that you want. That's the part you got to be careful of. You want to make sure that where you're giving your hard-earned money, that you want the results that they have to offer. Secondly, your time. Your time. You have got, there is always a learning curve when it comes to success in anything. Why? Because there is a skill set that has to be learned in order to succeed. And when it comes to weight loss, there's two skills: losing weight and maintaining it. Those are two different skills. You got to learn to lose it, and then you've got to learn how to maintain it. And you're going to have to learn some new things in order to do that. I talk with a lot of people and they've lost a lot of weight in their life, but they've never maintained it. That tells me they know how to lose it, but they haven't yet developed a skill on how to maintain it. Now, the cool thing is all of us are able to learn new skills every single day. Everything we've learned up till this point, like we started, have you ever messed with a baby before? They can't even eat. They can suck. That's about the only thing they can suck, and they can cry. Everything else has been learned. Everything that you and I can do, talking, sitting, standing, eating, driving, running, swinging, climbing, brushing our teeth, tying our shoes, putting on our clothes. Those are all things that we learned. All of them are things we learned. So you're capable of learning new things, but you've got to invest the time. And if you're sitting here going, yeah, but Carmen, you don't know my situation. You're right, I don't. But I do know that if you're not willing to make the investment, you got to ask yourself, how bad do you want it? And if you're not willing to make the investment, where is your commitment level? Because the truth is, for many of us that have failed with our weight loss, one of the biggest reasons why we don't want to commit is because we're afraid of failure. Because for me, when I became a freebie seeker and a freebie chaser, if they would have said it was $1,000 and I knew that it was going to work, I wouldn't have had a problem with $1,000. The only reason I had a problem with it is because what if it didn't work? And if it didn't work, well, now where am I? Now where am I at? How's that going to work? I'll lose my money. I'll lose my time. I can never get that back. Here's the thing. And this is like the silver lining. This is the greatest news about both of these investments. First, you're completely in control of who you choose to invest with, what program you choose to invest into. And you're completely in control of your time investment. And the investment you make to learning these skills, to learning this stuff, no one can ever take away from you. The investment I made, I consumed the products, and the time investment that I made to learning how to meal plan, learning how to, intermittent fast, learning what carb cycling was, learning all these things that I've learned that help me do my job better. It's an investment that nobody, no economy, no person can ever come in and take. So please don't stay stuck in fear of, I've done that before and it didn't work. Please don't stay stuck in a level of uncommitment. Being uncommitted but expecting to succeed. Success follows commitment. And please don't be one of those people that I was, that is expecting someone else to make an investment into something that you don't even see as a good investment. If you're not willing to bet on you, you can't expect somebody else to. If you're not willing to make an investment of time and money into yourself, into your future, into your health, arguably the greatest investment you'll ever make, into yourself and into your health. Without your health, what do you have? You can't expect anybody else to. But when you make that investment of time and you make that investment of money and you make them together, that, my friend, is magic. And your jaw-dropping before and after is on the other side of that investment. So thanks so much for watching. Make sure to check out some of our other videos. Not too long ago, we made an Oreo Blizzard. An Oreo protein-packed, healthy Blizzard. In case you missed it. You want to, actually, I'll link it down below. That way you don't even got to go find it. I'm telling you, it is one of the most requested healthy desserts in our household by me, my kids. It really is delicious. It really is amazing. It doesn't taste like anything healthy in it. When you make this thing, you'll be going, okay, I know Carmen said this was good, but nothing I'm putting in here sounds good. I'm telling you, so freaking good. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Like I said, I'll link that down below, and we'll see you on the next one.